Oh, I have some unexpected visitors. I guess I have a moment to talk. Now, who can tell me what my famous equation E equals mc squared means?
I
Yes.
don't know what it means.
Well, if you don't know what it means, alright,
What's MC squared?
never mind. Energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. This brings me back to my youth. Well, don't just stand there. Make yourselves comfortable. You too. I was born on March 14th, 1879, Ulm, Württemberg, Germany. My father and mother were named Hermann and Pauline Einstein. I had a sister named Maria, but she went by Maja. My dad ran a small electrical company, doing fixes and whatnot. I was a slow learner at a young age. I didn't learn to talk until later than expected. But I would come across two wonders that would change my life forever. The first of it was a compass, poorly drawn, but the best I could do. I was astounded that no matter which way I turned, it would always point north. The second, my unofficial tutor gave me a book of geometry, which I devoured in a sense. I became extremely religious at age 12 and chanting Jewish songs on the way to school. But this was not to last. Later, at age 16, my unofficial tutor gave me a book, part of a children's science series, where the author, Aaron Bernstein, asked this question: what would it look like to run alongside a light particle? He imagined it would be running alongside a electron in a telephone wire. This question would captivate me for the next 10 years of my life. I would also try and apply for college. First time, I failed. I went back to high school, having dropped out and run away from home at the forced prospect of military duty, and then apply again. This time I succeeded. It was here that I would meet my future wife, Mileva Mark, and some of my many good friends who would help me in my later years as things would get harder. I remember college being some of the happiest years of my life. But as I graduated, I moved into the toughest years of my life. My father died, and my parents were opposed to Maria's background as a Serbian and Eastern Orthodox Christian, being Jews. But our relationship deepened, and then I struggled to find a job. I couldn't find a job and therefore couldn't do anything to keep myself afloat. But then a friend recommended a clerk at a patent office. It was a blessing. There I could quickly finish analyzing patents and then move on to working on my theory. What would a light particle look like if you ran alongside it? It was later that I would realize that I would come across a fact that the creator of it, James Clerk Maxwell himself, did not know. The speed of light remains the same, no matter which way, no matter what you do to it. This directly contradicted Newton's laws of motion. So, I wrote 4 papers on it later and became famous. Went on world tours, talked with big people, but my marriage was falling apart, so I started an affair with my cousin. Not the best choice I could have made. I later became increasingly professionally isolated. A new theory also arose called quantum theory. I directly opposed it, saying that it was impossible. But I later agreed with it and tried to work it into my one theory. The theory that would encompass the science of everything, how everything worked. And I would spend the rest of my life working on it until the fateful day in 1955, April 17th, I would die of an aortic aneurysm, where a blood passage that goes directly to my heart, the main blood, would burst, and I would not get direct blood flow, and I would lose blood. And so I died, 1955, but I created a legacy and paved the way for modern science. So next time you think of E equals MC squared, try and remember what it means.